Hi, grade 3. How are you today? I hope you're doing great. Everyone, today we are going to take the last grammar revision lesson, which is the part of the revision for grade 4 placement test. So, it will be about 4 kinds of sentences, about subjects and predicates in sentences, and about compound and simple sentences. Let's do it. The last revision. If you have the worksheet, the one that I have sent, please get your worksheet ready. I'm going to give you the answers to all of the questions. Let's start with what is a sentence. A sentence tells a complete thought. A sentence is a group of words, if you remember, group of words that I understand. It must have a complete thought or complete idea. If I don't understand it, then it is not a sentence. Every sentence must make sense. It means it must have a complete thought. And if it has a complete thought, if it's a sentence, we need to begin every sentence with a capital letter and finish it with punctuation mark. It could be period, it could be question mark, or it could be exclamation mark. The sentence that is not complete, the sentence that is missing some part, like subject or predicate, that kind of sentence we call fragment. Fragment is incomplete part of the or incomplete sentence. It doesn't make any sense. Here you have 2 examples. Sentence. We are ready to study. I understand that sentence, right? When you say we are ready to study, you understand it. We are ready to study. But if you will say will help us, is this complete? Will help us? Who will help us? Do we know who will help us? We don't know. It is missing part of the sentence that we call subject. So this sentence is incomplete. We call this kind of sentence fragment. So every sentence, if it's a sentence, must have 5 things. It must have the subject, the noun or what is the sentence about. It must have the predicate, which says what happened to the person, place, animal, or thing. It must make sense, and it must begin with a capital letter, and it must end with the punctuation mark, which could be period or question mark or exclamation mark. Once again, this is high five poster for complete sentences. Complete sentence must have subject and predicate, and it must make sense, and it must begin with a capital letter and finish with a punctuation mark. That will make the sentence complete. Subject is who is the sentence about, and predicate tells me what the subject did. The sentence is complete when it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, it is not a sentence. It's incomplete sentence that we call fragment, okay? Now let's go and decide whether each group of words is a sentence or fragment. You will write S or F. If it's a sentence, you will write S. If it's not a sentence, fragment, you will write F. Pam walked to school with Amy. Does it make sense? Does it have a subject and a predicate? Yes, it does. That means it is a sentence. You can write only S. Shared his turtle with the class. Shared his turtle with the class. Is this a sentence? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't, because I don't know who shared his turtle with the class. The subject of the sentence is missing. Therefore, this is not a sentence, but fragment. Number 3, cooked soup for her grandmother. Cooked soup for her grandmother. Is this a sentence? No, because I don't know who cooked the soup for her grandmother. It could be any girl because her grandmother. So it doesn't have a subject. Who cooked the soup? If the subject in the sentence is missing, then it is not a sentence. It is incomplete sentence called fragment. Number 4. Ray stood in the line for ice cream. Ray stood in the line for ice cream. Does it make sense? Is this sentence a sentence or a fragment? What do you think? It is a sentence. Very good. You know why? Because Ray, it's a name of a boy. That's the subject. We know who is the sentence about. And what did he do? Stood in the line for ice cream. That's the action that the boy did. We have the complete sentence with the subject and the predicate. That means it is a sentence. Number 5. Rained all night. Rained all night. Is this sentence or a fragment? It is fragment. One word is missing. The word it. It rained all night. With the word it, the sentence will make sense. Without it, we don't have a complete sentence because we have only predicate. Number 6. My family is going on a vacation. My family is going on a vacation. Is this a sentence or is this a fragment? Do I understand it or not? Is this sentence complete? Yes, it is. Because the subject of the sentence is my family. And what are they doing? They going on a vacation. It has a subject, it has a predicate. It makes the sense. Therefore, it is a sentence. Number 7. Caught the ball for the third time. Is this a sentence? No, it is not, because I don't know who caught the ball for the third time. It could be a boy, a girl, my mom, my dad, I don't know. The subject of the sentence is missing, and that means that sentence is not complete. That will be fragment. Now circle the group of words that is a sentence. In the front of classroom. Is this a sentence? No. I don't know what happened in the front of classroom. Doesn't make sense. Next one. With Billy and Tina. Does it make sense with Billy and Tina? No. What did I do with Billy and Tina? I don't know. I like to go to the bookstore. Is this a sentence? Yes, it is. It has a subject, I am the subject, and what I like to do, I like to go to the bookstore. That is a predicate. It makes sense. My mother, my sister, and I. Is this a sentence? No, because it is only the subject. What my mother, my sister, and I do, I don't know. We looked at the new books. Is this a sentence? Yes, it is. We is the subject, and what did we do? Looked at the new books. That is a predicate. That means it makes a sense. I love to read mystery books. Is this a sentence? Yes, it is. I love to read mystery books. It makes sense. The books on the shelf. Is that a sentence? No, it isn't because it's incomplete. What happened to the books on the shelf? I don't know. The blue book cover. Is this a sentence? No, because it doesn't make sense. What the blue book cover? I don't know. Are good books. Is this a sentence? Of course not, because it's incomplete. What are good books? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. And the last one, we bought 4 grade books. It's a sentence because it makes sense. We bought 4 grade books. So these are the sentences. Now we go into the subjects and predicates. As I already mentioned in the first part, that complete sentence must have 2 parts. It must have a subject and it must have a predicate. Subject of the sentence tells me who or what is the sentence about. After the subject of the sentence follows the predicate. Predicate tells what the subject is or what the subject does. We call also the predicate the action part of the sentence. You have an example. The kids eating lunch. The kids are eating lunch. We have the subject. Who is eating lunch? The kids. That's a subject. What the kids do? Are eating lunch. That's a predicate. So, subject of the sentence tells me who or what is the sentence about. And predicate of the sentence tells me what the subject does or is. The predicate of the sentence begins with the verb. It could be action verb or it could be linking verb am, is, are, was, and were. One more time. Subject of the sentence tells me who or what is the sentence about. Predicate of the sentence tells me what the subject does or is. The predicate of the sentence begins with the verb. Could be action verb or linking verb. Linking verbs are am, is, are, was, and were. Mr. Parks is our principal. Who? Mr. Parks. That's a subject. What the Mr. Parks does is our principal. That's a predicate. Max and Ben are in third grade. Who? Max and Ben. That's a subject. What Max and Ben do are in the third grade. That's a predicate. The waitress dropped the tray of food. Who dropped the tray of food? The waitress. That's a subject. What did the waitress do? Drop the tray of food. That's a predicate. The dogs in our neighbor's yard barked all night. Who barked all night? The dogs in our neighbor's yard. What did the dogs do? Barked all night. That's a predicate. Ali and I studied for our science test. Who studied? Ali and I. That's a subject. What did Ali and I do? Studied for our science test. That's a predicate. He called his parents after the movie. Who called his parents? He. That's a subject. What did he do? Called his parents after the movie. That's a predicate. All of the kids in the gym laughed. Who laughed? All of the kids in the gym. What all of the kids in the gym did? Laughed. Laughed is a predicate. You can see in beautiful color, nice poster like a project. Subject, who or what is the sentence about, is in the blue color. And predicate is in the red color. It's the part of the sentence that tells me what the subject did. Do we understand what is the subject and predicate? Here we have some more examples. The dog barked at the cat. Who barked at the cat? The dog. That's a subject. What did the dog do? Barks at the cat. That's a predicate. Sorry. Go back. Mr. Smith is my teacher. Who is the sentence about? Mr. Smith. What Mr. Smith does is my teacher. Predicate. So, please, subject and predicate form a sentence together. If one of them is missing, then the sentence is not complete, okay? Subject is mostly at the beginning of the sentence, as you can see here, or as you can see in the previous page. Subject always comes in the beginning of the sentence. Not always. If it's a question, then it's a little bit changed. Predicate follows the subject, and predicate begins with the verb. See, bark is a verb, is a linking verb, played is a verb, went is a verb. So they begin with verb action words. Let's go and practice. Underline the complete subject of each sentence. My family went to the zoo. Who went to the zoo? Who is the sentence about? My family. Number 2, the weather was hot. What was hot? The weather. That's the subject. I saw the albino crocodile. Who saw the albino crocodile? I. Number 4. The elephants squirted water with their trunks. Who squirted water? The elephants. That's a subject. Number 5. My sister and I walked through the bird exhibit. Who walked through the bird exhibit? My sister and I. That's a subject. Number 6. One small penguin walks funny. Who walks funny? One small penguin. That's a subject. Many animals eat fresh foods. Who eats fresh foods? Many animals. That's a subject. So don't forget, subject is the part of the sentence that tells me who is the sentence or what is the sentence about. Always find the subject at the beginning of the sentence. Predicate tells me what the subject does. So let's go underline the complete predicate. The flowers smell nice. What the flowers do? Smell nice. That's a predicate. And a predicate begins with the verb, which is verb smell. Number 9. A dog barked at the squirrel. What did the dog do? Barked at the squirrel. Where is the verb? Barked is the verb. Predicate begins with the verb. Don't forget that, okay? Number 10. Children run around the playground. Who runs around the playground? Sorry, that's a subject. What the children do? Run around the playground. And where is the action word? Run. Oops, by mistake I pressed the button. A young boy falls down. What a young boy does? Falls down. Where is the action word? Falls. My parents help me in many ways. What my parents do? Help me in many ways. Where is the action word? Help. Number 13. Mary cooks fish for dinner. What Mary does? Cooks fish for dinner. Very good. And where is the verb? Cooks. Number 14. My little brother wants his favorite toy. What my little brother wants? What my little brother does? Wants his favorite toy. That's a predicate. And where is the verb? The action word is want. So these were the subject and predicates. Now we're going to 4 types of sentences. We have 4 kinds of sentences. 4 kinds of sentences, and they are declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. Today I will start with today I will do all of them, but I will start first with declarative sentence and interrogative sentence. Declarative sentence is also called statement. And the statement is a sentence that tells something. We call it also telling sentence. Statement ends with a period. Interrogative sentence, it's a question. Question is a sentence that is asking something. And a question ends with a question mark. Both statement and question begin with a capital letter, like all of the sentence must do. So this is not out of question. So one more time, everyone. Declarative sentence, it's a statement. And statement means that it's a sentence that tells something. It must end with the period. And interrogative sentence, it's a question. And question is what? Question, it's a sentence that is asking something, right? And if a question asks something, how does it end with? With the question mark. Here we have some posters. Interrogative sentence, declarative sentence. Start with declarative sentence. It's also called statement. What is declarative sentence called? Statement. And what does it mean, statement? It's a sentence that tells something, or telling sentence. And how do you finish the statement or declarative sentence? You will finish it with the period. Very good. Interrogative question sentence, it's a question. Interrogative sentence is what? Question. And question is what? Asking sentence. It is asking something. And because it is asking something, how does it end? With the question mark. So telling sentence tells us something. We call it statement or declarative sentence. Asking sentence asks something. It is a question or interrogative sentence. Telling sentence or statement must end with the period. Asking sentence or question must end with a question mark. And here are some question words that begin the questions. Why, who, what, where, did, do, when, is, does, how, which, are, was, where. There are many more. So these are question words. Why did you come late? Who is in the house? Did you do your homework? Do you want to play some game? These are questions. Telling sentences tell us something. For example, my family will go to the beach today. I will play my favorite game. It's a telling sentence. Question is asking. Which book is your favorite book? How much money did you save? Asking question. Telling sentence is normal, but asking question, the voice is raised a little bit higher. Let's go and practice. Add the missing end marks and then write if it's S if it's a statement and Q if it's a question. What did you eat for lunch today? Is this telling or asking? What did you eat for lunch today? It's asking. So what we will end it with? Question mark. And what kind of sentence is it? Question, because it's asking. Number 2, we have to take a spelling test today. We have to take a spelling test today. Is this telling sentence or asking sentence? It's telling me. What do we call the telling sentence? Statement or question? Statement. And how will you finish the statement? With the period or question mark? Period. Statement. Very good. Number 3. We could not play football today because it rained. We could not play football today because it rained. Is this sentence telling me something or asking me something? Telling. Very good. What do we call the telling sentence? Statement or question? Statement. Telling sentence, it's a statement. And how will you finish the statement? With the question mark or period? With period. Statement. I am excited to see my family in summertime. I am excited to see my family in summertime. Is this telling sentence or asking sentence? Is it telling me something or asking me? It's telling me. Very good. And what do we call the telling sentence? Statement or question? Statement. So what shall we put at the end? Which punctuation mark? Period for statement. What day of the week is your favorite? What day of the week is your favorite? Is this telling or is this asking? It's asking. So what kind of the sentence is asking? A sentence, statement or question? Question. And how do you finish it? With the question mark. Cute. My favorite team won the game. Telling or asking? Telling. Statement or question? Statement. Period or question mark? Period for statement. Some more. Did you do your homework already? Telling or asking? Asking. So statement or question? Question and question mark. Tom kicked our ball over the fence. Telling or asking? Telling. Statement or question? Statement with a period. Did you like the movie we saw last night? Is it telling or asking? It's asking. So what is it? Question with a question mark. I am having a great time with my friends. Telling or asking? Telling. What will we put at the end? Period, because it's what? Statement. Is your sister a good tennis player? Telling or asking? Asking. What shall we put? Question mark because it's a question asking. School is fun, a fun place to meet new friends. Is it telling or asking? Telling. Period because it's a statement. We will continue in the second part of the video, so don't go away. Open up the second video and continue with commands and exclamations.